watching. I want to say that to you because I appreciate the time that you take to watch videos that I post on the Legacy Media and Computers Unwrapped channel. This is going to be somewhat of a shorter video, very short compared to some of the hour plus long ramblings that some of you have become accustomed to watching on the channel. But it's been quite a while since I posted a video. It says I wanted to give you an update about what's going on, all the projects. Of course, if I were to spin this camera around right now, you'd see that my office studio at my apartment is a train wreck. It's always a train wreck, and those of you who suffer with what I call the chaos filing system can probably appreciate that. So what you're looking at two boxes. You're looking at the PC Network Translator unit, and I've got some other ones out of the box. You're looking at a boxed PC Network adapter, which is the adapter card that you need to connect to the translator unit. And then slightly out of shot, don't know what really makes this coax cable special, but it's what's required to connect to the translator unit. Now, a while back, what I had wanted to do was to have a series of videos that demonstrate how we connected IBM compatible PCs together back in the day, the early 80s, late 80s, maybe early 90s, before Token Ring and then eventually Ethernet took over everything. Now, initially, I was thinking IBM had an adapter that was called the PC cluster adapter. Really didn't know a lot about it. I'm going to show you one. Here is a PC cluster adapter. There's no socketed ROM or anything. There's some dip switches, and then, of course, I believe that's a BNC connector on the end there. This came before the IBM PC Network adapters. And for whatever reason, I got it in my head that I didn't want to stick with cluster adapters. I wanted to go to the next step. So, got a PC Network adapter, got it installed, got the instructions, and to my dismay, where you end up knowing just enough to be dangerous, that by itself, or even with another network adapter, that wasn't enough. It wasn't like a null modem where you could just, flip the pairs over and connect two computers together. You actually needed the translator unit to make it work. Now, strangely enough, guess because it's been 30 plus years that most people have sent this sort of thing into the landfill by now, or recycled at e-waste, that there's not a lot of this stuff around. But was lucky enough to find an eBay seller who had quite a bit of this, new old stock, not terribly expensive, of course, cost is relative to those of us who are collectors and whatnot. So I ordered one. And it came, and I was very excited. I am going through the box, reading some of the instructions, and then my heart just sank. I don't know why IBM would do this. The AC adapter was not included intentionally with the actual translator. It was often, if you bought this thing, I don't know if you just bought this SKU or the AC adapter came in a separate box when you bought it, but it wasn't there. In fact, the instructions said, hey, what you want are the additional instructions and the AC adapter for your region came in this separate box. Well, I'm looking. The usual online spots, eBay, Amazon, the forums. And I want to thank a fellow Vintage Computer Federation forum member from Alberta, Canada. Happened to have two of these with two AC adapters. Well, it really didn't need a total of 3 translator units, but I wasn't getting anywhere in my search for the AC adapter. So I'm like, all right, what kind of deal do you want to make? I'll take the whole thing. So that's what we ended up doing. And thankfully, this is what I needed. This is what a PC Network translator adapter looks like. In fact, there's only one thing on the back of it. You'd figure maybe it'd be mounted on a wall, but it's not. I guess it just sits on a shelf or a desk. And you might be thinking, well, how are you supposed to connect stuff together if it's only got one coax connector? Well, inside this box, there's a breakout. It almost looks like a coax splitter, and that's probably what it is. And the translator unit is a broadband multiplexer, from my understanding. And that's what you all need to make it all work. Probably overkill for our retro technology when maybe the cluster adapter would do better. And in fact, because I want to say that we can go through, make these videos, show them to you, get it done, try to connect a couple of systems together, at least 2, and then maybe go back to the clusters. And here's why I'm going to say that. I'm not going to make you go through the boot up of the PC AT that this is sitting on, and will make you watch the 12 meg RAM count, which fully upgraded this thing as much as I could. It's got 2 enhanced memory expansion adapters in it. It's got almost 13 megabytes of memory. Ooh, whoop-de-doo, right? But after it finishes its extremely long RAM count, you get a 153 error, which means that the PC network adapter that's installed in here can't communicate with a translator unit. And there's no way to tell the card, ignore that. It actually will halt the machine until you press F1 to have it continue booting. Now, the cluster adapter, on the other hand, if it's not connected to anything, it does use terminators, because the cluster adapter is more of a bus topology versus a star. If you think of the breakout box of that's included with this, it doesn't care. So that's what's we're still going to do that. It's going to be coming up soon. Really have a little bit of motivation to do it, and I'll explain why. Last year in 2023, the building that I'm living in was sold. And even though I was told at the time that the new owner wasn't going to make any of the tenants move out, wasn't going to jack up our rent, wasn't going to do any of that, they have ultimately decided that they want to tear the building down, period. They're not going to replace it with anything. They're just going to tear it down. They do have other buildings on the property that they're using for Airbnb. So we've got to get out. We do have a little bit of time from the time I'm recording this. So, going to be selling some things from the collection to make it a little bit easier to consolidate into a new place, a new apartment, or a storage unit. Get it all in there. So, that's what's going on. Appreciate all of my subscribers, and even other people who aren't subscribers. Consider subscribing. We've got quite a bit of content on there. Some of it you may enjoy, some of it not, but I really enjoy having discussions with people about stuff that those of us who were there cut our teeth on, or things about it that you might find interesting if you weren't there and you're just learning about it now. So, Godspeed, safe journey, and see you in the next video.